Look at this Tesla stock bear sharing really bullish data for Tesla stock. Although Tesla sales were flat quarter over quarter in Europe, Legacy delivered a lot fewer cars, so Tesla's European battery electric vehicle market share has increased to 22%, a level not seen since 2019. These are all only EV sales in Europe, and as you can see, Tesla's market share increased from 15% to now 22%. These are Tesla sales in red, and this is Legacy EV sales in Q4. There was a huge jump, but here, yeah, it's not looking good, but Tesla still remain flat, which also means if everyone else also sold a whole lot more in Q1, Tesla's numbers would have been so much better as well, assuming that Tesla would have been able to produce more vehicles. Clearly, at least when we look specifically at Europe, the whole industry is having a problem, and Tesla is holding up quite well with the price cuts. But it is not just Europe. We look at China and we have our most recent numbers now, and it is also somewhat similar. Tesla's market share for the month of March was over 20%. And as you can see earlier, it wasn't really over 20%, but most importantly, look right here. It did not go as low as it did before. This is the important part. The delivery wave, of course, still continues, and these are numbers from Europe. As you can see, it is getting better, but still clearly there is a huge wave at the end of the quarter. Troy thinks that we may need to wait for another 5 quarters roughly to really see a bigger flattening. Roland before estimated 135,000 vehicles, but the final data reveals it's actually a little bit higher, making the quarter even better within China. And this almost beat the previous last best month, which was due to the factory shutdown, and then there was pent-up demand, so this is not really a fair comparison. This right here is a little bit more fair. We are very close to beating that, and maybe this quarter we will have one single best month ever. We'll see. And here's a more clear comparison compared to previous years. There's more Tesla stock news today. Morgan Stanley has an update. Gary Black updated his Tesla stock price target. We'll get through that as well. First, Morgan Stanley says, in our opinion, Tesla has scale, cost, and tech advantages over its competitors and wishes to expand as rapidly as possible, fully understanding the risk of driving excess industry price deflation and potentially lower margins, which we believe is an inevitable feature of the EV industry over time. Of course, prices have to come down, and perhaps the margins may as well for some, but first, other automakers would have to make money on EVs in the first place. Ford is losing 40%, and no one else is reporting what they are making really, so I assume they are losing money as well. Even BYD is not telling us how much money they're making or losing from battery electric vehicles specifically. They only tell us the whole number for everything. Morgan Stanley continues here, investor opinions are split on Tesla's push for industry price deflation and aggressive capacity expansion. Elon Musk is a student of history and understands that if Tesla does not establish cost leadership, someone else likely will. This is what I have been talking about for a while. Sure, you can advertise, and advertising would certainly boost sales, but I disagree that James, the cat, really got Elon corner here. If advertising wasn't helpful at driving more sales, why did Tesla show this chart in their quarterly deck? We know that Tesla orders spiked after legacy EV TV ads during the Super Bowl. Sure, we can advertise, but for how long can we keep advertising where advertising is extremely effective? I generated millions from paid ads before, and you always have ad fatigue after just a few days or weeks, and certainly after a few months. And why would we want to make it easier for other competitors to compete? We just lower the price and we still sell a lot of vehicles without having to advertise, making it harder for others to compete because others still have to spend money on advertising because no one knows that GM has EVs. No one knows that Jeep has EVs. No one knows that these other automakers have EVs. Everyone knows for the most part that there is Tesla, and Tesla makes EVs. If you decided that you are going to buy an EV, you will check out Tesla. For the most part, most people will. And what exactly would the ROI be, the return on investment on these ads? There's an estimate here that if Tesla, for example, did run an ad during the Super Bowl, which let's say cost $6 million, based on that earlier data that I just showed you, maybe that only made $16 million. So yeah, and you spend $6 million. Is that really worth it? There was definitely a jump here, but of course, it doesn't last unless you keep advertising. None of these ads, of course, were specifically related to Tesla. So if Tesla ran its own ad, likely we would see better results. I think this debate currently does not have much of a point until we see the gross margin. Once we see the gross margin from Q1, I think then we can continue this debate. Right now, it's pointless because there wouldn't be that much room for price cuts. But if the margins are still quite high, then cut the prices more if we need to stimulate the demand. I am surprised how even Morgan Stanley is able to see this simple point that it's better to lower prices before your competitors do, and yet many others just don't get it. When a price war starts, only the winner really benefits from the price war and no one else. So Tesla has to be ahead of everyone else to win the price war. Morgan Stanley has also a few words about the new factory that will make Megapacks in China. They think the reason why Tesla is doing it because there are so many batteries in China at cheaper prices that, for example, Tesla may not be able to use for vehicles only, and now there's excess, and to put that excess to use, Tesla is going to put these batteries into Megapacks. This is perhaps the most important piece of the news today. Elon Musk has changed his name to Harry Balls. And yes, this is actually Elon Musk. As you can see, 134 million followers, and he does have a Twitter affiliation badge. Now, this is free advertising. Many outlets are covering this new name that Elon now has. Elon also changed the name of Twitter, at least on the office building they did, sort of, as you can see. I'm not going to read it out loud. You can see it for yourself if you would like, and the media is also covering this as well. Free advertising. Gary Black has now updated his Tesla stock price target. He said yesterday that it would now reflect the price cuts as well as the new Megapack factory that has been just announced, as well as the new Tesla Model Y that has the 4680 batteries that has a lower starting price in the US compared to other Model Y trims. And his new price target is $350, which is $20 less than his previous price target. But looking at Gary Black's valuation model for Tesla, I don't see anything about Tesla Energy anywhere here. It has information about the EV business, but nothing about the Tesla Energy business. And it looks like, to me, it's not really priced in here, which to me sort of does make sense because Wall Street analysts, they want to see the results first, and then once they actually see initial results, only then they will put it in their models. In other words, they do not see the full Tesla stock buying opportunity. Electrek says that Tesla is about to launch a big new software update with new features and user interface upgrades. Here is their source, and the update will include text size adjustments. I would like that. Control search, points of interest, updates, phone call controls, and more. For example, scroll wheel customization and gear chimes. Gear chimes, I'm looking forward to that. From time to time, and it doesn't happen often, but it does happen occasionally, where I'm trying to switch my gear on the Model 3, and I don't press it hard enough, I guess, and it doesn't switch the gear. But if I hear the chime, then I know, okay, the gear hasn't changed yet, so I just need to try again instead of trying to press the accelerator pedal and then wonder how come the car is not going. And Elon Musk has now just explained why he changed his name on Twitter. To be honest, I'm just hoping a media organization that takes itself way too seriously writes a story about Harry Balls. We have 30 minutes before the market closes today. Tesla stock started low and then it gained most of what it lost today. So pretty much looks like nothing really happened. But many people were freaking out in the beginning of the day saying, oh, Tesla stock is dropping. Well, the prices did drop of Tesla vehicles, but the stock, not really, not today. And this is an important message to all Tesla stock investors. Make sure to watch it if you haven't yet. My name is Matt. Post just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.